Welcome to the Lose Your Big Ass Stomach podcast. I'm your host, Jay Jackson, and my mission here is to help you get rid of that big ass stomach and take back control of your health so that you can look and feel your best by being the best version of yourself, mentally and physically, while destroying the mediocre agenda society is trying to brainwash you into, and breaking our families' generational curses of being unhealthy by being a healthy and fit role model. It's time to set a new standard. It's time to set a new standard of living. If you find the podcast helpful, be sure to hit that follow button because that helps us build a movement. Let's go. Guys, I know y'all hear me talk a lot about losing belly fat, losing weight, and food tips, eat this, don't eat that, lose that big old ass stomach. But I'm entering a different part of my journey in my fitness coaching career, right? We're helping y'all. I want to be a lot more authentic. I want to be even more authentic and more so just share my experiences, my life experiences with you guys so that way we can connect a little bit more, okay? And as I think about these things, I've had some very pivotal points in my life that, changed my life completely, my whole entire perspective and outlook. And so at one point I was broken. I'm talking depressed, had suicidal thoughts and everything, and what makes matters worse, I was a little kid. I was like 9, 10, somewhere up in there. I believe I was like 10 or 11 actually. And, I remember just being grounded. And at that point when I was grounded, I remember looking out my window in my room, and I stayed in like a neighborhood with my cousin's wife and his 2 kids. My cousin was in prison at the time. And I remember seeing this young lady who I had a crush on in the neighborhood, and I couldn't go outside. I couldn't go, I'm going somewhere with this, y'all. So stick around. I'm about to share something with you. I couldn't go outside. I was grounded. And in that moment, I'm like, man, what am I doing with my life? Why am I here? I wasn't staying with my mom, wasn't staying with my dad. I seen other little kids running around, being with their families, and I'm like, why am I even here? You know what I'm saying? I was this little kid. My shoes were too goddamn small. I started having corns on my toes because my shoes were too small. I was what you call skinny fat. I was working out already. Well, not working out, but I wasn't working out already. And I was kind of like the big head, slim body little kid. and so, I had been not working out. I keep on thinking working out, but I had been playing football. That's what I'm thinking. I had been playing football, but, I didn't have a whole lot of self-confidence growing up. I didn't have a lot of self-confidence because I was going from family member house to family member house. And y'all may have heard me, if you've been listening to any of my podcasts, my story, you hear me talk about my grandfather who passed away at 46 years old. And before I moved with my cousin and his wife and kids, I stayed with my granddad and his 2 sisters. All 3 of them I stayed in their house. And that's probably why y'all may sense that I have a bit of an old soul, you know what I'm saying? But obviously, my grandfather, he passed away, had a heart attack at 46 years old. Then his other sister, she ended up having a car accident. She passed away. And then the other sister, which is Louise, she ended up dying from type 2 diabetes. And that all happened within a 2-year time frame. 2-year time frame, y'all. And those events led up to me moving with Louise, who passed away of type 2 diabetes. I ended up moving with her son. And at the time, he was kind of like in the streets. He was like a big dog out here in Atlanta in the streets or whatever. So I stayed with him and his family. He ended up going to prison in the same 2 years. So I moved with him because of him, but now he wasn't even at the house. And so here I am, this little kid. I'm playing football, and when he went to prison, he wouldn't take me, but his wife would take me to football practice. And I started noticing this guy would be on the sidelines. And after the games, I was scoring like 3, 4, 5 touchdowns a game. Like, if you heard about Ben Hill out here in Atlanta, like, I was a big deal back then as a little kid. Like, people used to come see me play or whatever when I was a little kid. Mighty Mike football, 10 and under, 12 and under type stuff. And I remember seeing this guy on the sideline. And after the games, he would come up to me and talk to me. And he was my dad, but I was very uncomfortable with, just talking to him. I really didn't know him. I knew he was my dad after so long of us just continuing to communicate. He continued to show up to my games. He continued to just be persistent with showing up being there after the game and just talking to me, giving me, words of wisdom. And I can't remember anything he told me, but I just remember how he made me feel. And it was like, he just made me feel like, hey man, you're not out here in this world by yourself. And that was one of the main things that kept me going. Because guys, as adults, we can go through depression. As adults, we can go through suicidal thoughts. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't realize little kids can go through the same thing. And that was what I was going through at the time. And I've actually never really even told this story to too many people at all. It's probably less than 5 people in my entire life that I've told this story to. And nobody in this much detail. And so I remember one day I was just fed up. I'm at the time still, grounded, can't play with my kid, can't play with my friends in the neighborhood, can't go outside and see my childhood crush. And then it just leveled me when I saw that she ended up moving. She moved back to Louisiana or something like that. And I was just crushed because I couldn't even see her outside the window anymore. I'm like, man, my life is terrible. And so I remember my dad gave me his phone number after a football game. So I called him. Now, how can we make it work to where I can come live with you? He was like, just say the word. And so literally that next week, I ended up moving with my dad, right? And it was very interesting because when I moved with him, I'm seeing this built up guy, in shape. And our living room wasn't the traditional family household living room where you see a couch, tabletop, TV. The living room was a damn weight room. It was bench press, little speed bag. Y'all ever seen like Floyd Mayweather and, look at boxing and stuff. You see him hitting a little speed bag. We had one of them. Punching bag had one of them. Had the treadmill. Had the little barbells and everything. That was our living room. And I didn't know how to work out. And so he introduced me to working out and lifting weights. And he thought that I was working out really for football, which in reality I was working out football because he put me in football, even when I lived with him. And I was really working out because for so long I had no confidence. And I remember, being in school and there was little girls I wanted to talk to, I had a crush on, and I'm like, man, like, look at my shoes, my pants in the waters, like, I'm skinny, got this big head, and, my confidence was low, you know what I'm saying? And so when he put me on the weights and I started working out, my confidence started to raise. And what's so crazy is when I moved with him, I was at such a low level of confidence and my body was just like nowhere where it needed to be, I was just fragile. And I remember going to the new school when I moved with him. Folks were trying to bully me. It was crazy. Folks were trying to bully me because I hadn't moved to a different area and everything like that. But as I started to lift weights, work out, build confidence, all those things ceased to exist. Because I had more confidence, I was able to, I had the confidence to start approaching the young girl in school that I had a crush on, things like that. And it's crazy. Like, when I think back on it, me being 34 years old, that was a very pivotal point in my life. It's very important that if you are a father or if you ever become a father, like moms, y'all matter too as well. But it's something about having your father in your life. Because the things that I noticed that really like pulled me through the depression, the just feeling broken, feeling like I'm worthless, like why am I here, is my dad showing me that, hey man, you're not out here by yourself in this world. You know what I'm saying? And I hear this saying every now and then on social media. It's like, one of the most pivotal points you're going to have in your life is when you realize the only man who really wanted to see you succeed was your father. And I was like, oof, that hurt. I felt that because the relationship that me and my dad have now, I could see how that could be definitely possible. You know what I'm saying? We have a really close bond now. And so I say all that to say this. There's a couple of things that helped me get out of this, the depression, the rut, feeling broken. One, it was my dad, right? The presence of having a father, not just a dad, the presence of having a father who's there to have your back, pick you up when you fall, okay? And so if you're a father, listen, man, I know things can be hard. I know be real hard. You know what I'm saying? At the time me making this podcast, I'm not a father, but shit, life is still hard. So I can only imagine how it is when you have children. You know what I'm saying? You're not just taking care of you, and even though I support like my mom and people like that, but it's just something different when you brought a human into this world, and that's your responsibility, right? And so it's a big responsibility, which means you have to make sure you're taking care of yourself, so that way you can take care of that little person, your little person, the same way my dad did for me. And so not only was it his presence, it was also him. He was in shape. Like I said earlier, he was in shape. And I admired that, because before that, all I seen was guys on WCW, WWF, Dragon Ball Z. I used to watch those types of, wrestling and cartoons and stuff. And that's all I had knew as far as, people being in shape, and like football and stuff like that. But when I seen my dad was in shape, bench pressing 200 plus pounds, I'm like, whoa, hold up. This is like a whole nother world. And so I started chasing. I admired that about him, because he was in shape. And it made me start chasing his validation. And as I started chasing his validation, in return, it started making me even better. Because when I started lifting weights, when I first started, all I could really lift was like the barbell. And so I wanted to get super strong. I wanted to be able to put the 45s on both sides. And when I started, I definitely couldn't put no 45 on both sides. I could barely even lift a 25 on both sides. And so each time, like when he would leave, because sometimes I felt a little embarrassed. I'm like, man, I can't even lift the weight in front of him, man. I feel bad. And so when he would leave the house, and I'm at the house after school or something, I'm hitting the weights. Because I'm like, man, it's going to be in a couple of weeks, I'm going to be lifting more, and I'm going to be able to show him why he at the house. And so chasing his validation made me get better. It made me get stronger. It made my body look better. It made me feel more confident. You know what I'm saying? And I started stepping into my personality over the years, because I just became a better version of myself. And so this helped me pour myself into a passion. Like my passion and my purpose, even as a kid, was chasing my dad's validation, wanting him to be proud of me. And same with my mom. I want her to be proud of me too. And so if your parents are still alive, that's something that you could pour your purpose into, pour energy into, man. I want my parents to be proud of me. You know what I'm saying? I want my children to be proud of me. I want my partner to be proud of me. You know what I'm saying? You got friends, you got family, you got people that love and care about you. That could be your purpose. Man, I'm gonna do my very best to continue to improve, because I have people that I want to be proud of me. Okay? And so, but that was the second thing. And then the last thing is my dad was a great role model. Okay? He was in shape, like I said earlier. But also his me hearing the garage open up. I just remember, like, every day hearing the garage open up, I knew he was going to work. And it closing, and then later on that day, the garage would be opened up again, and I knew he was coming home after work. And it was every day. Every day. And I'm like, man, I am tired just seeing this guy go to work and come home every day. And my whole job was go to school, get good grades, go play football, come home, work out, right? When I moved with my dad. And I just his work ethic alone, it made me feel bad that whenever he was coming home and I wasn't working out. Because I'm like, if he working all the time, I got to be doing something. Because I feel lazy as a kid if I'm not doing something. And so every day he would be walking in, I'd be either doing some bench press, some bicep curls, some squats, something, some abs, with some football on. Because that was my childhood dream. Go to the NFL, play football, right? And so just him instilling these types of things of just discipline, not being lazy. A lot of people might be like, man, how does Jay, always like so disciplined? How is he so structured like this? It wasn't like that all the time. Like it was built, it was put in me by watching my father be a role model. And was it always easy? Shit, sometimes it's still not easy, to be honest. But it's a lot easier because I grew up in a way where I seen this man be disciplined to go to work every day. You know what I'm saying? I seen him working out. I seen him in shape. Even though he was working all day, he was still getting it in. I'm like, man, he can do it, man. I can do it. I got more energy than him. I'm younger than him. You know what I'm saying? And so, if you're a parent or you're planning on being a parent one day, you got to be a positive role model, man. I just did a interview with one of my coaching clients named Brandon. He's down over 25 pounds. He had been struggling his entire life to lose weight. Now he's down over 25 pounds. And I remember asking him during the interview, which, at the time of this podcast, it'll be coming out tomorrow, all right, on the podcast. But it's kind of weird because I'm doing this podcast live, and y'all will be like, hold up, when y'all hear the podcast. But anyway, just go to the podcast and you'll see it on the episodes, all right? But anyway, he was just talking about how he not only wanted to lose weight to be happy about his health and proud about how he looked, but he wanted to be a role model for his wife, his kids, his family, you know what I'm saying? Which is important because had my dad not come into my life, man, it ain't no telling where I'd be at right now. Like, did I have suicidal thoughts when I was a kid? Yes. Did I have growing up in the hood and stuff like that? Did I have little kids? And as I was growing up in middle school and high school, like, hey man, he go hold on to this and see if I'll go sell it. But because I had my dad in my corner, it built more discipline and structure to where I'm like, hey man, if I do that, well, my dad go kick my ass. I can't do that. And so it's not that a mom won't instill that type of fear, but it's just something different about having a father figure where it's like you just have this stoic figure. It's like they're built, they're in shape. It's like, I ain't about to bullshit. Don't bring that to my house. You know what I'm saying? So I never even tried it just because of his presence. And we need more of that in our culture. We need more of that in our community. But the only way we get that is by having more men to empower themselves. That way they can lead the people that they love and care about, their kids, they wife, they parent, well, whoever it is. You know what I'm saying? And so if you didn't have that, I don't want you to be the person to use that as an excuse. What you do is you say to yourself, I'm going to be the role model that I wish I would have had. That's how you do that. I'm going to be the positive role model and example that I wish I had for my kids, my family. Because now you see the impact that having a father figure can have from just hearing my story. Like, oh boy. And as a little kid, I was very aware of certain things. Like, I was aware that I was sad and I was in a very low vibration state. I didn't know the word was depression, but I was pretty smart around what was going on. And had my father not come to my life, tell her, how would this world be right now? Probably be out here in them streets, because I wouldn't even got to the point of seeing the possibilities of building a business or going to college, because I just wouldn't have had my father figure to instill certain beliefs in my mind to, he built the restaurant business. So I'm like, shoot, I can build a business too, because he done did it. Well, he in shape. Well, I can get in shape too, because my dad did it. It's inside me. So why wouldn't I be able to get in shape if my dad done did it? You see what I'm saying? And so, guys, this is what got me out of depression. This is what got me out of feeling broken, down and out. All right? And where you are right now in your journey, even if, it's not so much about you being able to have your parents as a reason to do better. Guys, do better for the people that you love and care about. Do better be that role model for your kids, for your wife, for your husband, for your family. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you run a business. Be that example, healthier, fit, more energy, so the people that you lead in your business, they want to do more. You see what I'm saying? It's not just about you. It's about more reasons. The people that you love and care about, the people who depend on you. When you have more reasons to do well, you'll do more. You'll do better. All right. A lot of folks, when they don't have motivation, they don't do nothing. Shit, guys, it's been plenty of days I don't feel motivated to do nothing, but I have enough reasons to continue to do what I need to do to get the job done. That's it. You see what I'm saying? The people who have more reasons to do better, they're gonna do better. If you're just trying to do good so you can buy you a nice little chain and have you a nice little car, shit. The person who has family, they got kids, they maybe have a a community of people who they want to be able to provide and take care of, they go blow you out the water because they have way more reasons to do better. They got their family and they got extended family that they want to inspire, encourage, and empower. They go do way better than your ass because all you think about is a car and a chain and some nice little clothes. More reasons. That's the name of the game. More reasons. All right. Hopefully y'all found this podcast helpful. If you did, be sure to hit the follow button, leave boy a 5-star rating so we continue to grow this movement. And we out of here. Let's go. Yo, appreciate you for tapping in and listening to the podcast episode today. Hopefully you found it valuable. And if you did and you want to learn more about how I can help you lose the big ass stomach, transform your body, and get your health on point, DM me real results over on Instagram at JJacksonOfficial for more information. And I'll reach back out to you to do what I can to help you hit those health and fitness goals. Let's get it.